intro?
I would love to. So, this is Less Than Satisfactory, featuring
Austin.
and
Ethan.
and of course, special guest me.
Who are you?
I'm somebody
To love.
That I used to know.
I love myself, yes.
And what are we talking about today?
Oh, we are talking about the subject of movies, where you would run through a cornfield with a flamethrower, get the popcorn ready for moviegoers all around the world. And we're just going to discuss our favorite movies, maybe TV shows along the way.
Ooh, getting a little dangerous.
What? That's some sketchy
Whoa.
water. Hey.
Whoa.
A little bit.
Well, yes, let's talk about the filmography business.
Absolutely.
So, we all have our own genres of music and TV
Music.
and movie that we like.
Okay.
Sorry, I got a little off subject during the break there.
That's
So, we got our top 5 lists of movies ready to go here. And we'll kind of just discuss them and just categories that involve each of them. And maybe you guys like them too. Maybe you guys have some recommendations. We'll find out. Which one of you would like to go first?
I would love to hear what you guys watch.
All right, I can go first. Let's do this.
All right, which one's categories on Pornhub?
No.
I like the off button.
Big black cocks, small white vaginas too.
Why do you keep bringing that up? This is the first time on the podcast he's brought it up. But this is the 4th time since we had dinner.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Anyway, for number 5 for me, I'm gonna.
Number 5.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Anyway, number 5.
How could you forget?
I will. I'm gonna have to go with a. Maybe you guys have not heard of this, but I've talked about it. I'm sure. A Japanese anime film called
Is it
Your Name.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be
I've
that.
never heard of this.
Oh, it's really good. Okay, so the basic concept is there's this boy that lives in Tokyo and this girl that lives in like a kind of more rural town
Okay.
that have swapped bodies.
Oh.
Freaky Friday?
Kinda similar to that. Like they'll just sort of wake up one day and be in the other's body for the day, essentially.
What was the cause, or did they just switch automatically?
I mean, I can't say much more than that because
It'll spoil too much.
It'll spoil too much.
All right.
Did they pick
I
up
like
matching earrings
at
at some sketchy, like, weed dealer?
Sure, yeah, that's exactly what happened.
I wasn't sure if it was the same plot as the hot chick.
No, it is not. But the animation is absolutely gorgeous in it, though.
And this was called
Your Name.
Your Name.
Yes.
Okay.
What is your name?
Well, I don't know.
Well,
Who's the name of your name?
Ethan.
Oh.
Ethan.
Who's
What?
the name of the body you're switching to?
What? Ooh, if I could switch bodies.
If
with
you
anyone
could
else,
switch
Okay.
bodies,
Who would it be?
and how?
Who would I be? Well, okay. Do we
Male
have to,
or female?
Okay, yeah. I didn't know if we were following the premise of the show.
Well, let's follow the premise. We'll go
Okay,
ahead and call it female.
Well, then Beyonce.
That would be
Beyonce.
cool. Yeah.
I mean,
Queen Bee.
why not? That sounds awesome. I would probably, yeah, no, Beyonce. I'm just gonna go, yeah.
All right. Hayden, who would you do?
Who would I do?
Whoa.
Well, not like that.
Who would you switch
Well.
bodies with?
Let me get my whole trusty scroll.
But if I was picking male, Chris Pratt, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Especially now that he's fit.
Yeah.
Although I was fine when he was fit. He's still funny. Oh, or Gabriel Iglesias.
That would be a fun life.
Ah,
I
that's so
would.
fun.
I would like to do a roulette. I wouldn't just like to stick with one body.
Okay.
Although this is probably disgusting, but I would. The way I would want to switch bodies is.
Oh Lord.
Do you know how, if you were to share a food or a drink with someone, after they have drinking out of the same cup,
Or you piss in the same fountain.
I would rather not do that.
Wait, that was the change up, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Of course, I guess it would. Would it apply in the same way? Oh,
Yeah,
either
no,
way.
sure.
But you would just randomly appear in a body. And if you don't like that, you can go and drink after someone real quick and just switch. And,
I think this is a plot of a movie.
but how would you...
It was an episode of Futurama too.
Okay. There was a movie came out. Like, it was a romance movie where one of the main people in the pair kept, like, they would just switch bodies every day or something.
How would you get back to your own
That's
body?
nuts.
That's my...
They don't get back to their own
No.
body.
So it's... What if you end up in a body to where you don't want to go back to your old body?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they have a choice. They just keep switching.
Yeah, you just kind of have to do it.
Who ends up in your old body then? If you keep switching through multiple...
Hubert J. Farnsworth.
Oh, there's an old man in my body. You know what? With the way my back's going these days, I wouldn't be surprised.
Hey, I feel that life.
Hey, leave your arthritis demons behind, old man.
They haunt me too much these days.
Alright, so you're doing roulette wheel, right?
Roulette wheel.
Okay.
And I'll just switch upon bodies. That may be treading dangerous waters, but...
Oh, yes, for sure. But it's
But when have I ever made good decisions?
You've made some.
Well, I might as well make a title for it.
You came to this podcast. That's a good decision.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Something new. Something I've never done.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's different.
Yes, it is.
But I think we've gotten off topic of film.
A little bit.
We digress.
Hayden, would you like to go ahead and mention your fifth favorite film?
Fifth favorite. I would have to say I'm a fan of a little bit of comedy, a little bit of drama, but this is at number 5 out of the top 5 for me. 50-50.
50-50. I'm not familiar with this.
I'm also not. I think I saw it on Netflix, though.
Yes, it is on Netflix currently, and it stars Seth Rogen and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. And it is...
Oh, was this the cancer one?
Yes. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character gets cancer.
Yeah.
And he's trying to find a way to help himself live through that. And, of course, Seth Rogen's there for comedic purposes, of course.
No kidding.
It's hard to see him in a serious role these days. Same with...
Has he ever been in a serious role?
I've seen him in one. It was uncomfortable.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Will Ferrell's bad enough seeing him in a serious role.
There's a number of known celebrities, like Chris Rock, for example. I don't normally...
Has he ever been in a serious
He's
role?
about to be. He's going to be in a new take-on in a Saw movie.
Oh.
Playing...
That's weird.
Yes, playing a cop.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The new Saw movie looked really weird, but also maybe the same.
I'll give it a shot.
I mean,
I've grown to love the franchise, so...
I don't watch horror movies.
No.
Hey, same. So,
Hey, that's perfectly fine.
so does that mean that the rest of yours are going to be horror movies?
Surprisingly, no. I like to expand my genres.
Whoa, all right.
With horror itself, I would say I love as a whole. I can't pick favorites from it.
Okay, that's fair.
So, Austin, your number 5 is...
My number 5, according to my
He's got the list.
Doing
list
some
I've
Foley
got
work.
right here, is a very good film
Oh, no.
from one man
No.
Let me
named
hear.
Nicolas Cage.
No.
Ooh, we're getting somewhere.
All right. Wicker Man.
It is no. I said good film.
Face Off.
I could take a
Better.
wild guess.
All right, Hayden, what do you think it is?
Well, it's not the bees.
Wait,
No.
he was in B movie?
No, not B movie.
We've got a remake in our hands though now.
Oh, God.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Bingo.
Bingo.
Angelina Jolie with dreads.
Yes, and
Please let that never happen again.
Michael Pena is in that film. There's also what's his name? The Giovanni. I
Bernard?
forget his last name.
So many names in the world I can't remember.
Ravisi? Is that right? That sounds right. I'm going with it.
I only remember my own.
Regardless, it's the one that's in the Ted movies.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Mark Wahlberg?
No, the bad guy.
Oh.
Yes, Mark Wahlberg's in Gone in 60 Seconds.
I've actually seen this movie for once, so...
Let's have Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, it's a great film.
It's...
I mean, why did you have to say?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, sorry, Gone in 60 Seconds. It's a very entertaining film.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy it. It's got comedy. It's got stealing cars, which I love. It's got action. It's got Nicolas Cage at his best. It's hard to hate.
You love stealing cars, do you?
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like one of those good Sunday afternoon films. Kind of like The Italian Job.
Yeah, it's almost borderline like a dad movie.
Yeah, but it's not. It's risky enough that it's not a full-on dad movie like Ford versus Ferrari.
Yeah, there's just enough scantily clad women to make it okay for it not to be a dad movie.
But there is that Shelby GT, which makes it a bit more of a dad movie.
It does, but at the same time, it's got the bad guy being an a-hole, which is great. All right, I believe we're up at number 4 for you, Ethan.
Number 4. I'm gonna have to go with.
We use the same voice for the number 4.
Shut up! Shut up!
Number 4.
Number 4. There, is that better?
It helps.
Okay. I'm gonna take a slight dip into the horror genre, but it's really more sci-fi than anything.
Really?
Yes.
Great. That isn't the horror genre.
You do like horror.
Only Alien.
Oh.
That still counts.
I mean,
it's just too good.
The original Alien is really good.
With Ripley.
Yeah, Ellen Ripley, right? Sigourney Weaver.
Sigourney Weaver. That's her name. Yes.
That's a good film. So that's a good pick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy that one.
Have you happened to see any of the newer ones, or just the classic?
I've seen Alien, Aliens, and Aliens 3. I've not watched any of the newer ones.
Did you watch AVP?
No.
That one.
You might like that one.
That's actually pretty good.
I mean, Predator was...
Nah.
So, in Alien vs. Predator, Predator's actually pretty entertaining. And
Yeah,
he somewhat is a good guy in it. It's weird, but it's good.
Well, they're intelligent, unlike the xenomorphs aren't quite as intelligent seeming.
No, they just kind of want to eat you.
Yeah.
And use your organs to feed their babies.
They want to plant it.
Yeah.
Plant it and birth you.
They breeding.
So uncomfortable, but still entertaining.
It's so gross, but I can't look away. I've never seen anything like it. I want to gag, but I want to say ooh.
And then boom!
Out comes the newborn.
I mean, it is
from your
difficult
chest
to
cavity.
choose Alien over Aliens because Aliens is also very good. But
That it is.
I think that Alien is just gives Sigourney Weaver such a great platform to show off her acting chops.
It does.
That I can't deny it. Whereas we don't talk about Alien 3.
No.
No, it's a little rougher.
Well,
it's kind of like the second Alien vs. Predator movie.
Yeah.
That one was it Requiem? Is that what it was called?
Yes, it was. AVPR.
Hey, Aliens was a great movie.
Aliens is fine.
Don't diss on Aliens.
Aliens.
Game over, man. Game over.
But if you ever get the chance, newer Alien movies, like Prometheus, for example, they kind of delve into new
that
species.
looks good, and it looks like they delve more into the lore, which I'm all about. Because I was a Star Wars fan.
Yeah, we've already discussed how that went.
It's a different podcast.
You got to go watch an earlier one.
But yeah, so Hayden, what is your number 4?
Number 4.
The other 5.
I told you my 5. What more do you want?
Your first one.
Number 4. I had just recently forgotten about this, but I watched again. It is a movie called Legend.
Ooh.
And it stars...
Tim Curry?
Is that the one with the dog?
Wrong T.
In the Zambies.
Tom Hardy.
Oh.
He plays...
Oh, the legend is here. The legend Tom Hardy. He was born in the darkness.
Anyway, yes. Legend. Tell us about Legend.
He is actually playing 2 roles of main characters in the movie.
Oh, so it's like Nutty Professor.
Yes,
or Tyler Perry.
They play twin brothers that are... Oh, if I can remember, the gangsters.
Ooh.
Yes.
Gangsters are gangsters.
No, classier than
Better than
British gangsters.
Okay.
Yes.
And British gangsters. That's different.
I will say I've learned a lot more terminology from this movie than I have anywhere else. Textbooks.
Now, is it
not even watching Peaky Blinders?
A little. Hey, he is in Peaky Blinders.
Oh, Tom Hardy is in Peaky Blinders.
He is, and he does talk the same way.
He does.
Well, he is a British actor, regardless.
He is a British person, yes.
But no, it's kind of an acquired taste to get used to how they're talking in the movie. But there's a lot of fisticuffs in the movie, so
Love me some good fisticuffs.
it's your classic tough tough British movie.
Okay.
And it was pretty good. I highly recommend it if you ever get the chance.
All right, I might look into that.
Absolutely. Now, Austin.
Hayden.
No. Austin.
Is it time for my number 4?
It is time for your number 4.
Well,
Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift.
Ethan, get out.
Was he right, though?
No.
Okay.
It is History of the World, Part 1.
Ooh.
Okay.
Fun fact, there was never a Part 2.
Should there have been, or is it?
I mean, it would.
Do you think it was decent on its own? Just
I feel like a Part 2 would have been suffice in the late 90s, but nowadays...
it would just be.
I don't think he
overkill.
ever intended to make a part 2.
I don't think so either.
I think it was just a joke name.
It was just... It's more of a joke to, like, be like, hey, it's the first part of a series, but it's not. But it's a Mel Brooks film.
Yeah.
So it already gets bonus points there.
I'd say
Beautiful. He's one of my favorite directors.
Yeah. And it pretty much just follows a group of people through, like, I'd say Roman times? Have you seen it?
It's been a long time.
I think it was Roman, but I could be wrong. Regardless, it's just well written. There's a lot of good jokes in it. Some that probably wouldn't get over in today's crowd, but if anyone's seen Blazing Saddles, you know what I mean. I won't go into more detail than that.
no, but that's a classic movie. I'm sure many people.
Blazing Saddles is another good one, too.
I love Blazing Saddles.
It's a great film. Somebody go back and get a shitload of dimes. Love me some Mel Brooks.
Absolutely.
All right, Ethan.
Oh boy, do I have a third one? That's the real question.
Pick number 3, my lord.
I gotta.
Number 3.
I gotta think a little bit about this one. So I'll stall a little bit by talking about some honorable mentions.
Oh, we always gotta put the honorable mentions in.
All right.
All right, because my top 2 are nailed down, and I can't change those.
All right. Well, we'll give you 3 honorable mentions.
I'd like to give a shout out to one of my favorite directors of all time, Martin Scorsese.
Oh,
No.
you too.
Yeah, I love him. I mean, he's such a great director. But one of my favorite films by him would happen to be Gangs of New York.
That is a fantastic movie with I forget the actor who played Lincoln.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Leonardo DiCaprio. I think Cameron Diaz.
I feel like she's in it.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson is in the first 20 minutes.
Yes,
too.
he is.
Oh, well, that turns me on already.
Yeah, it's an excellent film. It's like a period drama about like 1870s New York gangs.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very fun.
Very good movie.
And another honorable mention I think would have to go to. I mean, I guess I'd have to pick one. I would go with
Tokyo Drift?
No, it's Indiana Jones.
Which one?
I'd have to go with the third one as my favorite, personally.
Really?
Most people would say the Temple of Doom. I understand why people like it.
Now, is this Raiders or?
No, Raiders is the first one.
First one, okay. Third.
Lost Crusade.
That's right.
That doesn't have Shia LaBeouf in it.
No, that is the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Okay, good. As long as it's not that one, I'm okay with any of the other options.
And I did hear this.
Oh, God.
They did announce that they are working on a new Indiana Jones film.
No!
Why?
Let Harrison Ford die in peace. He's old now.
If he's doing it, I would think he wanted to.
Is Shia LaBeouf coming back?
I know
No.
he wanted to end his Star Wars career, that's for sure.
No.
We saw how that worked out.
Fuck you, J.J. Abrams.
Yeah.
But I think that's really all I got for honorable mentions because I have finally arrived at my final favorite one.
For number 3.
This is a bit of an out there pick, maybe. I'm going back to sci-fi.
Okay.
Starship Troopers.
That is an interesting choice. I don't hate the film. It's just really weird.
It's really weird. It's really campy.
That's a classic sci-fi movie, though.
But Neil
It's
Patrick
cheesy.
Harris is in it.
Yeah.
It's just a fun film.
That was my first experience with nudity in a film.
Oh yeah, there is.
Was it?
I
Yeah.
forgot about that.
That was really awkward because I was like pretty young. I don't remember the exact
Oh,
age,
my
like
first
8 or 9. And there was just boobs on the screen, and I was with my parents at the time, and it was weird.
My first experience was Stargate, the original movie.
Is there boobs in that?
Oh yeah.
I guess I've never.
I was like 10 years old. I loved Stargate because that is the best sci-fi. Maybe another podcast where we talk about TV shows. Stargate is the best. Yeah, I was watching it with my sister and I was like 10 at the time, and it just
Stargate turned into Stargaze, didn't it?
It's like, oh, and we turned it off after that.
I wonder why. Hey, that's all right. Hayden, you're up with your number 3 if you're ready.
My number 3. I'll stick to what I love in this horror genre. I recently watched this movie, picked it up a couple of weeks ago. The House That Jack Built.
Oh.
I've never heard of that.
Is that the sequel to Field of Dreams?
It is not. No. Oh.
If you build it, they will come.
If only.
Wait, is that about the guy in Chicago during the World's Fair that built the murder hotel?
You know, I don't know, but I'm gonna say no for right now.
Okay.
But I don't think this has a background of anything.
Okay.
But it could. I just know it starts out with him confessing his top 5 events of murders to.
Is that our next podcast?
Murders?
Your top 5 murders.
My top 5 murders.
It's a Patreon level reward.
Teasing one right now. But yeah, it'll go through each sequence of his murders. And I will say they are very graphic. But it stars Matt Dillon, if you're familiar with the actor.
Yeah.
And
that's Martian Man, right?
I think so.
Okay.
But he is a very good actor, in my opinion. But it also stars the woman from Pulp Fiction. I cannot think of her name.
John Travolta?
Woman?
He's a female, right?
Yes.
I don't
The
remember.
hair certainly shows. Oh.
Keep talking. I'll look it up.
I believe she had an overdose in Pulp Fiction.
I mean, yeah, I know who you're talking about. I don't remember what her name is.
I don't.
Oh, Uma
either.
Thurman. How did I forget her? Gosh damn.
Just like Uma Thurman, right? Didn't Fall Out Boy talk about her?
What?
Yeah, the song Uma Thurman.
Enough to apparently where I've ignored and forgot about it.
Anyways, that's all right.
But yes, that is my 3rd pick. Is that movie? Very graphic.
All right.
I vicariously enjoy those movies, but yeah, I will say it is a very good film. It is very different too. It is a lot of narrating.
Oh well, I'd be out already. That's too much.
Too sleepy time. But absolutely.
Is it dubbed in English at least?
Yes, it is an English film.
I mean, that's what steers me away from some really good anime films, unfortunately.
I think it only showed in select theaters, if that will tell you how graphic it is.
Ooh.
That's a little rough.
Yeah, I will not go into detail about anything, just to save people the gag reflex.
Yeah, that's all right.
But yeah, that is my top pick for 3.
Now, while we're still on you, do you have any honorable mentions you want to give a shout out to?
I'll aim towards television shows on this one, since we did say we would talk about some.
Sure, go for
Or
it.
we could save that for another podcast.
Would you want to?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, we can bring you back.
Yeah, we'll come back to that. We'll make that a different podcast.
All right.
Because I say we're only on number 3, and we've gone very much
In depth.
Yes. So I say we'll stick with movies for right now. Television shows another time.
Works for me.
All
Honorable
right.
mentions for you then.
Honorable mentions? Still movies, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Movies only.
Okay.
They can be TV movies.
Oh man.
Ooh, like
What are some good
High
movies?
School Musical?
I mean, for me, I watch.
Lifetime originals.
I've actually never seen that movie.
I will say I watch a lot of dumb comedy films.
Join the club.
Yeah, I mean,
Anything that's Due Date, for example.
I enjoy Due Date.
Anything along those lines, like anything Zach
Adam Sandler
Galifianakis,
movie.
going back to Seth Rogen.
What's that?
Is that an Adam Sandler movie?
No, it's RDJ and Zach
Zach
Galifianakis.
Galifianakis, and
Interesting.
it's just he gets on Robert Downey Jr.'s nerves throughout the entire film.
Is that Zach Galifianakis' thing?
It's a lot like you've seen Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, right?
Yes.
It's a lot like that, except more modern.
Okay, I gotcha.
It's really good though.
Yeah. But yeah, anything along those movies, I will watch. I love a good stupid laugh every now and again.
I mean, wait till we get to my number one. That'll tell you how I feel about that.
All right, and I'm looking forward to it. So, on that note, Austin, number 3.
Number 3. My top 3 are in a kind of a category of their own.
Okay.
Like, these are the 3 films that I watch pretty much once a month.
All right.
Just because I have problems, and they make me feel good inside.
All right. Well, let's hear what makes you feel good inside. Okay.
So, number 3 is a Bill Paxton original.
I'm already loving this.
It is from, I believe, 1996. It has a passion of mine that's included.
Okay.
Hurricane?
Not the Hurricane.
Ooh.
It's
Tornado.
Twister! One of my favorite games of all time as well.
There's a video
Bill
game?
Paxton,
Oh, no,
Twister.
Right Foot Red. You're
Right. But Twister is a great film.
It is.
Follows a group of guys that are storm chasers, which at one point in my life, and Hayden, you were with me during that time.
Mm-hmm.
And I even think I took you on one round, Ethan. We did some storm chasing. There is a video on a friend of ours' YouTube channel that has a very interesting video of when Hayden was the videographer for it.
Yes, and I will not take that title of videographer.
Tractor Twister.
I get too distracted easily, so whenever there's a tornado behind us, tractors take the film.
That's all right. Regardless, it was something that we all had some passion for at one point or another, and I just really connected with the film. It's got a great plot. It's got great actors. Alan Ruck, or however you say his name, from Ferris Bueller's Day Off's in it.
Oh, okay.
You may know him as Cameron from
Yes,
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Yes, I do.
Philip Seymour Hoffman's in it.
Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Mm-hmm. And then Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt are the 2 main characters.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, I love Mad About You.
Yeah.
That's a great TV show.
And I don't know if I want to call it a ride, but
Oh, you talking about the Universal ride?
yes, I don't think it is still standing though.
No, they got rid of it, unfortunately. Because
yeah.
Universal got like a huge, how do I say this, makeover.
Yes, they did.
And I think it's the Fast and the Furious ride now.
You know what? That's fine.
I'm okay with that,
Yes.
which is why I'm not more salty about it.
It has a huge fan base.
If it was that fucking Minions movie, though, I
That
would have
would-
gone down there and protested.
Well, you know, the parents and their kids, they like to hear the jibber jabber of little yellow people. Yes.
Yeah, Minions is one of my least favorite things of all time.
Those things are little chew toys, if you tell me.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so I'll go ahead and do a couple honorable mentions too.
All
Another
right.
1996 film, Space Jam. It's hard to hate that
Come
film.
on, it's Slam.
And
welcome to the jam.
I don't know the rest of the song.
That's all right. It's just a fun film, and I love it.
You ready for the remake?
Remake with
LeBron.
Is it LeBron?
yeah, I could.
LeBron and Blake Griffin.
They've
It
been
should
talking
be,
about this for a
who's
while.
the dude that does Uncle
Uncle Drew.
Drew? Is that Steph Curry?
That's Shaq.
No,
isn't
that
it?
no, that was Kyrie.
Oh,
But
Shaq was
Shaq
in the
was
movie.
in it.
That's right.
They should no.
I would like to see Shaq in the next Space Jam.
He
though.
should totally be
Okay.
the next Space
I
Jam.
had not seen the movie, but
Uncle Drew's okay. It's not what I was hoping for, but it was okay.
He should be the next Space Jam. Though.
from the
Yeah, for sure.
advertisements of that movie, all I could think of the entire time, have either of you seen the movie Lottery Ticket?
No.
Lotteries for poor people. Poor people tax.
Well, yes. But Ice Cube is in that film, and he takes on this role of a retired boxer, and he just wears nothing but sweats and hangs out in his little basement living space.
Gotcha.
And all I can think of is just his role in that film among the film
Uncle Drew.
Uncle Drew. Yes,
You already forgot it.
yes I did.
It's alright, Ethan still thinks it's Steph Curry, even though I said the other guy's name.
Is it Kyrie Irving?
Hey, there you go.
Does he still play for NBA basketball?
Yeah, he plays for the Brooklyn Nets now.
Okay, that team exists.
Alright.
Yeah, it's Jay-Z's team. That's the only reason it's still around. Another honorable mention, though. Moana.
Ooh.
I really like Moana.
Good choice, yeah. Wonderful music in that film.
Yeah, the more I've watched it, the more it's started to become one of my favorite Disney films. However, my other honorable mention is my favorite Disney film, Mulan.
Alright.
I love Mulan.
I can...
Oh, it's awesome. Great music, yeah.
Great music. Eddie Murphy kills me in it.
Yeah, okay.
And
Sure.
what? I love him, alright?
That's fine. You're entitled to your opinions.
Whatever. Just go with your number 2.
Bring
Leave me
on it
alone.
with him, okay?
Alright. My number 2 and number 1
Number 2.
are slightly interchangeable.
Okay.
So, depending on the day, I could switch these up. But for number 2 this time, I'm going to go with... I'm going to reach back a few decades.
Okay.
To 1976.
Oh, going 70s on us.
And I'm going to choose a little-known musical called 1776, which is about the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
All right, then.
All right, well, let's hear about the Declaration of Independence.
All right, well, the reason why normal people my age might enjoy the movie is... Okay, you won't. But there are some tidbits,
Is
like...
it very politic-related?
I mean, yeah, it's about the signing of the Declaration of Independence.
Well, I just remember from...
It's all politics.
From what we've talked about in other conversations, you were very into, dare I say, space politics from another
Space
film.
politics?
I love space politics.
I'm not saying it's bad. It's
Get out of here, Disney, and your piece of shit sanitized new trilogy.
What are the new...
Anyway, 1776. The best part about it for normal people would be that Mr. Feeney is the main from Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
Is the main character as John Adams.
No fooling.
No
Okay.
fooling. He sings and everything.
Oh,
Wow.
Jesus.
I'm sold.
It's hilarious.
I don't know how I feel about that, but at the same time, it sounds very entertaining.
Yes. There's a few other names you might have heard of. No, you wouldn't have heard of any of them. Moving on.
All right, going to Hayden now.
All right, number 2. I'll stick on the thriller side of things.
Now you say thriller. Is it going to turn into a horror movie?
I don't think it's horror. Because how
Okay.
often do you see this actor in...
Hold on, I bet I can guess it.
Yeah?
Hold on. Which actor?
Take a wild shot. He is very well known
Very well known.
for people wanting him to get an Oscar for so long.
Leo.
Oh, it's
DiCaprio.
Leo. So that's Shutter Island.
Yeah, my heart will go on. You know him.
I do. His heart's not very going in that one though.
But yes, it is Shutter Island is my second pick. Why I love the movie? I love Martin Scorsese's films, as Ethan has stated
It's
before.
one of the few I haven't seen yet.
But it is a... You might enjoy it. I mean, you say you like aliens, so I mean...
Yeah, I might. We'll see.
There's no aliens in this one. But, maybe. But no, it has... although it's easy to figure out maybe halfway through the movie, but there is quite the plot twist towards the end. I will not speak a word of it.
Okay.
But fantastic film. It is about an officer going to look for a missing inmate on an island. And that's all I will say about that. And it stars both Leonardo DiCaprio and his sidekick, Mark Ruffalo.
What?
Yes.
I didn't know Mark Ruffalo.
Mark
was in
Ruffalo
that.
is-
Okay.
Does he Hulk out in it?
Is his partner in the movie. If only. But, and I know there's another actor in the movie. Bald actor.
Vin Diesel.
Patrick Lewis. Patrick
Yes.
Stewart.
No. Oh, he was also in a movie. Are you familiar with Selfless? Or no, is it Selfless? With Ryan Reynolds, where he is trying to switch out bodies. We're back on that topic. But,
What's with all the body switching
Hey,
movies?
it's a popular genre.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever works for you.
Ben Kingsley.
That sounds about right, yeah.
Oh, he was the Mandarin. Wasn't he?
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, he was.
Well, fake Mandarin.
Didn't he play Scar? Or no, that was Jeremy Irons. Never mind. Don't worry about me.
But yes, that is him.
Go back home.
Ooh, Max
kind of,
von Sydow's in it
he
too.
plays like a therapist, I think, in the movie. I'd have to go back and watch it, even though I've seen it like
says doctor.
10 times.
Dr. John Cowler.
All right then.
Are you familiar with this, Mr. Marshall?
Number 2, Austin.
So speaking of Mark Ruffalo,
Yes.
he is in my number 2 as well.
Oh my goodness.
Avengers Endgame.
No.
Ooh.
Although you are very close. It's not Batman.
Oh.
You were closer with Avengers. It is Thor Ragnarok.
Hey!
It is my...
Come on down to the land of the icy snow. Wow!
You're only doing that because you're still holding my Guitar Hero guitar.
Yep.
But yeah, Thor Ragnarok. It's, in my opinion, the most comedic of the Marvel movies, and I think that's why.
Most comedic. It's more comedic than Guardians of the Galaxy.
Have you seen it?
I mean, it's
Maybe
fun.
original Guardians of the Galaxy could have some more comedy than this one,
But yeah, no.
but it's
all
still
around.
high up there
All around, Thor Ragnarok is one of the best Marvel films.
for sure, and it's got great action scenes. It's got a pretty good plot too.
And not one, but 2 uses of. Everybody knows that song, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Waiting on that cover.
Plus, we're introduced to Thor with short hair.
Ooh, yeah.
It was,
But then we get Fat Thor with long hair again.
And
But it
that's
wasn't-
where my love came back for Thor.
I mean,
immensely.
same. But we also saw Thor be able to use powers that did not include his hammer, which is what interested me as well, because I just like the version of Thor where he kicks the shit out of you no matter what he has.
Mm-hmm.
And I just love the film. It's well written. Jeff Goldblum plays his part great.
Great villain.
Yeah. Hela's incredible. I still don't think she's dead.
Great supporting actors, actresses.
Yeah, no, it's an all-around good film.
It was.
Unfortunately, no Natalie Portman, but that's okay.
Nah, you don't need her. It's alright.
Supposedly, I hear she's going to be in the new Thor movie.
Oh,
The
really?
Love and Thunder,
Yes.
yes.
Love and Thunder?
That's what
Along.
it's called.
What? Oh, Lady Thor's coming, isn't she?
I think so.
Along with, I did hear this gentleman will be in the movie as well. Christian Bale.
Oh.
Really?
Yes.
Is he going to be Lady Thor?
Yes.
What?
No, if we're going by, I think the comics, I believe it would be Natalie Portman's character that should become Lady Thor.
Yeah, because I'm pretty certain
If I'm
Jane
correct.
Foster becomes
Yeah.
Lady Thor, right?
But I don't think they've revealed what characters are being assigned to.
Well, I know Valkyrie's in it, which
Yeah.
works for me because
As long
I
as they
love
don't
Valkyrie.
do that like another dumbass shot where they line up all of the female heroes and be like, hey, look at these females.
You see
And
what?
just-
That's another reason I loved Ragnarok, because Valkyrie was just a lovable person without
it was
doing
just
anything.
a character that
Yeah.
instead of being a token.
It didn't feel forced, which is why I love Valkyrie.
If you want a really good female starring movie, an action film, Sucker Punch.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody,
That's a gnarly film.
Yes,
everybody
it
should
is.
watch that film once.
That is a fantastic movie.
Yeah, before we get into our number ones, though, we do need to take a quick commercial break here. So we'll be back in just a moment.
Oh, yes, it's Big Mike here, and I'm here to promote Little Mike's. My brother, who is a bit microphone shy, his mattress emporium outlet, where we have deals on mattresses you wouldn't believe. You'd think we've raised these prices from the dead.
I'm still alive! Get me out of here!
Shut up! Ignore that. It's fine. We'll take care of that later.
Let me out!
Shut up! You're too awkward for these commercials.
You asshole!
Shut up! You're fine. I'll handle it.
It smells musty in here!
Mother loved me best.
Ah!
Anyway, Come on down to our 70th Street location, where you'll find the best deals on used mattresses anywhere. Ignore the bloodstains, please.
And that was a great message from our sponsor, Little Mike's Mattress Emporium.
Outlet.
My apologies.
Emporium Outlet. We just gotta get everything in there.
Emporium Outlets.
Anyway, time for...
Number 1.
Alright.
The one.
We're gonna go back in time one more decade to the 60s.
I see where this is going.
A decade ago was the
Particularly,
60s.
the year is 1969. Now let's just...
In the summer of 1969.
is that the sex year? That's the sex year.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway,
That's the space year.
my personal favorite movie right now would be a film you probably haven't heard of, and that's okay. It's called Support Your Local Sheriff.
I knew this was coming.
It's a great, pastiche.
You've been putting the DVD on our table during game nights
of-
for the past 3 weeks.
It's a comedy, and it's a pastiche of westerns, and it's great. It's starring, you guys, this is like one of the few, you might have heard of some of the actors that are in it. Let me test you out here.
Alright, test me.
James Garner. Have you ever heard of James Garner?
Familiar.
Okay, have you seen a movie called Maverick starring Mel Gibson?
I've heard of it, never
I
seen
can't
it.
say I've ever seen it. I'm
It's
only
about a
familiar
poker
with
player.
the Top Gun Maverick.
No.
Different
It's about a
Maverick.
poker
Different
player.
Maverick.
But anyway, he was in a TV show called Maverick as well. But yeah, that's him. You might have also heard of Check's Notes, Harry Morgan.
I can't say I am familiar.
He was on MASH.
Okay.
He was
I
like
would
the
need a face.
He was the colonel on MASH.
So is this
Okay.
the-
Yeah.
This is probably a bad time to say I've never really seen MASH.
What the hell? You probably have never heard of him. Actually, Walter Brennan. Have you ever heard of Walter Brennan? You might recognize him in some stuff.
It's not the dude that does the diabetes commercials, is it?
No, he's in all old movies.
Is this the Brennan that doesn't want salmon and Step
I
Brothers?
think he was in.
I
TV.
said it 3 times!
Okay, the one that you might have actually heard of, Bruce Dern.
That name sounds familiar.
He's one of the few from the film that's still alive.
Oh, okay.
He was in The Hateful Eight.
Okay.
Alright.
The old guy. Let's see, what else was he? There was other films that Bruce Dern was in.
I mean, he's probably been in a couple of things lately if he's like a well-known actor.
Yeah, he's a character actor who usually plays like crazy villain people.
Like Margot Martindale.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a great film. I can't not recommend it enough. It's hilarious. I know every word to the film. I've watched it probably 30 to 40 times, at least, if not more.
My number 1, I can relate to that a lot. So.
But yeah, so Hayden,
Yes.
enough about the old films. What you got for us? What's a little bit newer? What's your favorite?
It's a little bit newer, but it's also an older film.
I know
From the
exactly what
80s.
it is.
Of course you do. You hear me talk about it nonstop every day.
That's
25/8. It is. Say it with me now.
Brandon Lee's.
The Crow.
Yep.
That is my number 1 film. And I can't explain why that is my favorite movie, but it has I don't know, revenge movies they're so good. I like any concept that people put into those kind of movies, but this one takes the cake for me. It is a groom and a bride who were going to get married on Halloween night.
It's a poor choice.
Well, yeah. And I guess
They just like dress up.
there were some gunmen hired to take them both out, groom and bride,
Okay.
and somehow there's this crow, don't know how or why, it had this power to bring the groom back up from the dead, Brandon Lee,
All right.
and takes his revenge out
And then he goes fight
on these
fights
gunmen.
crime. Got it.
Yes. These gang members to get revenge for killing his wife, ruining their wedding night.
Oh, that's cute.
Wasn't Sting's character kind of based off that?
Yes,
in
it
wrestling?
was. Yeah, and unfortunately, Brandon Lee did pass away while filming the movie.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently one of the props had a actual, or I can't remember if it was an actual bullet,
What?
but yeah, it went off and sustained injuries to where he did not survive.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Isn't that what happened to his dad? Something like that?
I can't remember.
Like a prop gun that turned into a real gun somehow?
Yeah, but I've watched
What
any
was
of
it?
other Brandon Lee's films, any indie films. They're actually really good. I love just classic like Chinese or anything like karate movies or anything like that. With you can hear the sound effects just sound like a slap to the face while they're getting kicked in one.
Just a...
Absolutely.
That wasn't the best recommendation.
A little bad example, but that's about as accurate as it gets. But yeah. All in all, that is my favorite film of all time.
I mean, that's a solid choice.
It is.
I respect it. And
Oh, so you don't respect my choice?
I haven't seen your choice.
Actually, yeah, I think you have.
We will, though.
I saw parts of it.
Yeah.
It was okay. But I need to watch it all the way through to know for sure. And, go ahead.
But anyways, that is all I have to say about that. I highly recommend the film if anyone likes good old 90s action films. Supposedly it's considered a horror movie, but I disagree with that.
I feel like it's just more of an action movie.
It's a dark action film. That's
Really?
It's like Blade.
Yes, like Blade. But yeah.
So just a quick little tidbit here, going off of our favorite films. We are going to get together and so some of our first movie reviews we're going to do because we have been talking about them in the last like 6 podcasts. So might as well plug that one more time. We're going to start reviewing movies overall, me and Ethan, and maybe Hayden will hop in for some of them as well.
I'll hop in.
Okay. And we're just going to kind of give our thoughts on the movies. And our first round we're going to do is everyone in our friend group's favorite film, which means we're going to end up watching probably about 14 movies and just kind of go through them and say what we like, say what we don't like, and give them an overall score. With that being said,
let's hear your number one pick.
be ready to be disappointed.
Will I, though?
I mean, it's going to be Fast and the Furious.
Will I, though?
No, it's not going to be Fast and the Furious.
But we're family!
It's a long
It's
line.
about family!
Now, don't get me wrong. I am a sucker for Fast and the Furious films. But I have not really mentioned them
wait.
one time.
It's Transformers.
It is not fucking Transformers. There are 3 pop figures of them sitting to my right. I know that people listening to this will not be able to see it. But I'll give you a hint. There are 3 gentlemen, most of which known for their comedy acting. And
Oh, Sacha Baron Cohen.
yes, Sacha Baron Cohen, John C. Reilly, and Will Ferrell. It is Talladega Nights, a ballad of Ricky Bobby.
That is definitely in my recommended, or not recommended, top.
Hello, words. How are you?
Well, we're getting there. But no, honorable mention. Yes, there we are.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that it's
one of the comedic films I highly enjoy.
it's really dumb, but I love it.
Of course.
It also has to do with NASCAR, which helps a ton.
I think
Yeah.
anyone that lives in our home state will agree. So
Yeah, it's just a great film all around. There's lots of comedy in it, and most of it just hits home with everybody in a good way.
Yeah, it's a pretty fun film. I can't deny that.
Yeah, you've seen it, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a good movie. They all make fun of Applebee's, which I can very much relate
Dear
to.
Lord, babe Jesus.
We're sponsored by Gatorade in this prayer. I also love that their buffet at that little get-together was just like KFC, Taco Bell, some pizza place, and like a bunch of Mountain Dew.
I didn't ask for the onions on mistake.
There's a rat in my Cobb salad. Like, it's just got a...
Applebee's has rats.
I just love the comedy in it, and there's so many people in it.
Dear Lord, sweet baby Jesus.
I mean, Amy Adams is in it.
Oh yeah, she is.
Yeah,
oh,
she's-
that's right. Yeah, she plays the love actress.
Yeah, Leslie Bibb plays the trophy wife that ends up leaving him,
Yeah.
which is fine because whatever.
Hey, John C. Riley deserves stuff.
Hey, he did win the last race because they got out of their cars. Spoiler.
I will say it has one of the most memorable lines I love from that movie.
I wake up in the morning, piss excellence.
That, and I love how do I control the volume on the TV and on the stereo at the same time? Why do you want the radio and the TV on at the same time? Because I like to party. That is the way it is set up. I love it.
It's pretty good, and I like the part where they're making fun of the guy in the oxygen tent.
Yeah.
Better shut up before I poke a hole in that tent.
Go shave your balls, you dusty old fart.
Okay, maybe they are my grandkids. Dude, I think I've seen it a lot with you too.
Yes. But I can guarantee you've seen it a lot more than I have.
Well, there was a time in my life where I probably watched it every week.
It was become a religion.
Yeah, up until Star Wars The Force Awakens, Talladega Nights was tied with the original Shrek for the most times I'd seen a movie in theaters. I was at 3.
Ooh.
How many times did you see The Force Awakens in theaters?
A lot more than I want to admit.
Why?
For me.
Because people kept wanting to go.
For me, it was 4 times.
Yikes.
For me, it was 6.
Right on.
Yikes.
You win.
That still holds the record. And I'm not happy to say it was The Force Awakens. I would have preferred it to be Talladega Nights.
And Ethan, I remember going to see The Force Awakens with you. I believe you were with us too, Austin. We went in, walked in casually with
This was great.
bags and bags full of Wendy's.
Oh, did we?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
And then afterwards, I remember people were saying they were still hungry, and I forget who it was.
It was him.
Were you the ones that were pulling out candy bars after candy bars out of your Cat in the Hat like pocket?
Hey,
I just remember I looked over at one
movie
point.
theaters charge too much for their food.
They do.
You're not wrong. I just remember looking over, and there was the candy too. But before the candy, Ethan had pulled out a Baconator out of his jacket.
He did.
And just went, "Honk!"
He was mesmerized by the film.
I mean, it was just a New Hope reshot.
Is that your new hope?
He had no interest in the film. He was more interested in the Baconator.
All you were missing is a little carton
You
umbrella.
ruined my childhood, Disney. Damn it! I could have put Star Wars as one of my favorite films, but you ruined it.
You could still.
I mean,
Ignore that trilogy.
the 3rd one and the 5th and
No,
6th one.
there's too many sins in the other trilogy
Too many
too.
sins.
I mean, the original trilogy would be all right.
yeah, but still, Star Trek Troopers.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right.
That's your Star Wars.
Yeah, sure, I'll take that. Neil Patrick Harris makes a better Jedi any day.
I would pay to see that film.
How I Met Your Jedi.
No, it's Harold and Kumar go to Endor. And on that note, it is time for us to end.
Oh,
Well, we're glad we could have you here, Hayden.
it's been a pleasure.
Do you have any closing remarks?
Keep your clothes on,
Thank you.
or take them off.
Thank you.
Whatever floats your boat.